halfway through the week.
Top of the morning to you. Yes, halfway. I think that's the headline.
You've had 2 accents in 2 days.
I know. First Western, then Irish. Is that what it is, Irish?
Stay tuned for what's coming up on those.
And I am none of those. So welcome to the show again, guys. We have a nice jam-packed program, like we were saying, a lot of good guests. And you have seen this first topic not once, not twice,
Alex insisted that I do this today. I don't even like watching it again from afar. This is a Gila monster in my backyard.
It's
now,
beautiful.
What?
I know.
You know what
it's
this
weird.
is how I describe them. They're like big, fat, scaly pancakes with legs. How is that not upsetting to you? That is not okay. He's in my backyard. So, again, I have seen 5 of these in my life.
Which is rare,
The first time, well, yeah. Have you seen one before?
Yeah. Well, no, I have not. I think maybe in captivity.
Well, you're in for a treat coming up because this could be in your backyard as well. So obviously we're doing some major remodeling, and I don't know if it like unearthed it or something. Ugh.
Oh,
so one time, the first time I saw one, I was walking into a restaurant. The second time I saw one inside my house, right behind a planter. And if you think that's the worst, just wait for this. I saw 2 at the same time, and they were mating.
Oh, you saw
Same
life
backyard.
happening. There was life happening in front of
I
you.
saw something violating each
your
other.
personal space. I would say it's a majestic pancake with legs. I like
Well,
those
you were
things
saying
a lot.
like, oh, maybe that's your spirit animal or
Well,
something.
you've seen it so often. It's got to be something.
Yeah, it's probably like an omen.
Hopefully it's not an
horrible things
omen.
are about to happen. But so you know how venomous they are,
That's
right?
what I hear.
So they will,
Chomp
on. Not only that, but they will chomp and chew. This is literally word for word from what I looked up on the encyclopedia or something. And they will keep chewing your arm until they sink all of their venom into your body, and they won't let go. You walk into the hospital and that thing is still on you.
There is a silver lining to their saliva, because actually there's a drug for type 2 diabetes based on a protein from Gila monster saliva, nicknamed lizard spit.
You should come on over to my house and you just collect him, take him back home,
Take
and
some
then
saliva from him?
Yes, that would be great, because then he just kind of went off into the sunset, so he's around still.
If your house looks anything like this house in Australia that these people were advertising,
this is just as
that's a weird house.
Yeah.
Yes, because this house, first of all, they made an ad. They were dancing around this property, and this house, by the way, is beautiful structurally, but on the inside, the bathroom is just a glass wall to the kitchen.
That's what you took from this?
Yes. Well, there's a lot more to it, I think.
So you know how they do these real estate ads, where they have like a drone and they show you the living room and then they show you the dining room and that sort of thing, and then they tell you how much it is. Well, this real estate agent, I thought, seemed extremely slimy from the beginning, but he walks into the house like you said, here's the bathroom. There's the bathroom shot. Look, and you can see it from outside. Everybody can see you. But it has this kind of weird music going on, like it's a club, and then you just watch them do whatever they're doing, and it just really weirded me out.
Yeah.
But it is, I have to say, it's creative because it did go viral.
It went viral. They pulled the video because they thought themselves that it was a failure, but actually it worked. We're talking about it. We're in the United States looking at this property in Australia, and so I think it really worked for them.
It did, and it sold for like I have it here on my notes. It was like $3.2 million before it even went on auction. It sold. So, but if you watch it to Dirty Dancing, you know how we do that sometimes. We put things to different music.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yeah, which
That's
is hilarious.
the fun thing we do.
But if you put it to Dirty Dancing, you know that you've had the time of your life.
Had the time of my. I'm not going to go there.
You just did.
I just did.
Okay, so if you put it to that, the guy seems romantic. So he goes from like
creepy.
Possible criminal to someone you would date.
Possible criminal. We all want to date a possible
criminal.
So,
now you've got your really cool time capsule story.
Yeah, so we'll just hit on that really quick. There was a time capsule from 1872 discovered in Reno. It included silver dollars minted in Carson City and San Francisco, a piece of wood from Sutter's Mill. There were many more items in there. It was in a lead box, but can you believe that from 1872?
Awesome.
That's a long time ago. It's just sort of a hint of what it was like back then.
That is so cool. I love that story.
Stuff,
I'm a History Channel person.
Are you?
Yes,
yeah,
I like it.
Amazing.
Well, still ahead on the Morning Blend on this Wednesday, some very important news for parents. As all of us know, autism affects many children, and there may be some new therapy that can help parents treat this early on. We're going to talk to a doctor and a parent about it coming up.
Yeah, but first, Southern Arizona book heroes are going to be live in the studio. What they do, it might surprise you, so stay tuned for that. Well, chances are you've heard of hemp products, but are they right for you, and how can they be used to treat select medical conditions?
Mike Bond with TucsonHempStore.com is here to discuss. Mike, I'm so glad you're here with us today. So first and foremost, why did you start this company?
I started the company because I started experiencing certain mental headaches. They turned into migraines. They were just debilitating. The neurologist told me to go ahead and go full on board with the green remedy, but I have work to do. So I started studying the research behind what actually gives you the medicinal benefits, and this is what led me back to my home state of Colorado, and I actually tested different strains from different regions. And I did 6 months of R&D in clinical testing, and I found the one that worked the best. And that's what we currently use.
And, you saw the results.
Yeah, we've had tremendous success, and we try to keep our prices low, just because the success stories is just outstanding.
And the people who use it benefit from it. What's your main demographic?
The demographic right now, I would say, is mostly between 35 and up until 90, 95.
Okay.
Really? Yeah, I have one client. She's 92 now, 90 pounds, and she takes my oil, and she takes it 4 times a day. And she was actually one of my original first clinical studies, and now she's completely off her medicine.
Wow.
What CBD does is it creates homeostasis in the brain, and what homeostasis is when the brain starts healing itself or the body starts healing itself. So once you start reintroducing something back in your body that's been lacking,
it starts to heal itself?
Yeah, yeah, you start to see amazing results.
Do you need a medical card?
No, sir. No, we are a THC-free company, so no card needed. We have about 50 locations all around Tucson that carry our products along nationwide, everywhere from grocery stores to nail salons, believe it or not. Yeah, because everyone has aches and pains, and a lot of people can't take ibuprofen anymore, or and a lot of people are trying to get off all these opiates.
Right, these, powerful medicines.
Yeah, that are killing their livers and getting them addicted, and that's why we work with the VA. And
so not any side effects typically?
the only side effect is if you drink every little bit of bottle in my entire laboratory, you might get drowsy.
Okay.
Okay.
But that's pretty extreme. I mean, that's every bottle.
Yeah, and considering all the other side effects of the other
types of drugs right?
out there, yeah, that's
same.
Yeah, that's a pretty good side effect.
Safe for pets to use.
Yes, we do recommend 1 milligram per 10 pounds of dog. So if you had a 50-pound dog, 5 milligrams. And all of our bottles are very easily labeled, and there's even measurements on the dropper, so you can figure it out. And we've had just amazing results.
Now, have you talked to veterinarians about this?
Oh yes, they're.
What's their response?
Oh, they're completely on board. Well, we're treating 15-year-old German shepherds with hip dysplasia.
Really?
That were dragging their hind legs and now are running around the backyard at full speed.
Wow.
And in fact, it's healing them so much. We're kind of nervous that this 15-year-old dog is running at 100 miles an hour.
Right, remain hyper.
Yeah, like, okay, slow it down. You're not a puppy again.
And so switching back to how humans use it, there's many different ways that they can take it.
Yeah, and everybody metabolizes it differently. What may work for you may not work for her. So we do try to give a pretty good description on our website of what may work for you. If you have localized pain on your elbow, we would definitely recommend a topical. We have transdermal patches, water soluble.
Lots of different options.
Lots of different options. And unfortunately, people ask me what's the best for me. And I don't have an exact answer.
Okay.
There is a little trial and error, and I'm sorry about that. But it's just like prescription drugs. Some
Work for you and some don't.
people, yes, this may work for one, may not work for the other.
A lot of great information. Thanks, Mike. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike. If you would like to learn more information about the benefits of these products and how they can treat numerous medical conditions, you can visit TucsonHempStore.com.
And also, they're offering 15% off purchases on their website with the coupon code NATURAL, and you can go check that out there. And stay right there. The Morning Blend will be right back.
They call themselves book heroes, and their mission to bond children and our first responders with books.
Why books? Here to answer that question is the founder of Southern Arizona Book Heroes, Jennifer Dillon. Jennifer, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, of course. You're no stranger to the program. So we want to start with sort of a broad question. What is it about a book that's so powerful for the life of a child?
When a child gets a book in their hands after a car accident or being taken away from their family because of a domestic violence issue or something, they look into the book and it takes them into another world. It distracts them. It's something more than just a stuffed animal, because a stuffed animal you can just toss aside once you give it a hug after you're done crying. But with a book, you can get involved with it and lose yourself. And
absolutely. I mean, I can completely understand that, because a really great book for adults, it can transform your life. And not only that, but yeah, everything else just falls by the wayside and you are immersed in that story. I love that. So tell us a little bit about what your mission is. What do you want to do? What is the completion of this?
so what we do is we put these bags that is in front of us full of children's books, and we hope to fill every police car, sheriff department car, any first responder cars with a bag. So when they do get a call, they have that to help them.
It's such a great idea.
It really is. So how do the officers feel about having this tool in their toolkit, so to speak?
I've heard pretty good things about it. They
feel positive about being able to provide that, right? It's sort of like helping a child build a coping mechanism, right? Talk about the importance of that.
Right, and it also helps build the relationship between officers, because there's so much negativity about our officers that doesn't need to be there. And so this helps bring the positiveness into that lifestyle.
So true.
Plus, it can be scary. I mean, all of a sudden you have police in a situation and you see, the lights flashing and everything. And sometimes kids don't, think about police officers as, wanting to help, but they think of it as this like a scary situation at the same time.
Right.
Because maybe they've only had negative experiences.
Right, exactly.
So this certainly helps with that. But talk about some of your partnerships in the community.
So we have given bags to Tucson Police, Pima County Sheriff, Highway Patrol. We've also given books to the Southern Arizona Fisher House, which helps military families when their loved one is in the VA hospital. And we've also given books to the children agencies like the Southern Arizona Children's Advocacy Center, where they go and to be interviewed or whatnot after a incident happens.
Right.
And one of the books that is in the bag actually is this one that's on. It's
the one that we're seeing right
yes, it is.
It says, where I live.
Arizona is where I live, and it was, this particular book is by a local author, and he's donated it, and we have about 5 or 6 local authors that have donated their books to us.
It's a great coping mechanism, and especially when officers are in the situation, they're concentrating on the situation, not necessarily on the child, so that is a good way to just lower the stress for everybody involved.
So true, and of course you're a nonprofit, you need the help of the community. Talk about really quick the upcoming event.
We have an event, the American Legion 100th celebration. We will have live bands, and of course we'll be there with a booth to help share the program, and it is family oriented, so please bring the children and come out and have a good time. We'll have food trucks, shopping, and a kid area. Tons of fun.
Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank you.
It's exciting. I wasn't familiar with your work before, but now it's nice to hear that you're doing this for all these kids in Southern Arizona.
Such a great concept.
And again, the American Legion Centennial event is on May 11th from 1 to 7 p.m. at the Tucson Greyhound Park. If you'd like to learn more about it, head over to the Southern Arizona Book Heroes Facebook page. It is a common condition, and yet still we are learning about autism. But what we do know is that early intervention is important for treating children with ASD. However, on average, parents first suspected their child had autism at the age of 2.8 years, but children were not diagnosed until 3.8 years, with many parents attributing the delay as they didn't know where to go for diagnosis. Here to help us understand a little bit more this morning is Dr. Stephen Marin, the Chief Medical Officer of Centria for Autism, and Kayla Schmidt, who is a parent of 2 children with autism. So glad that you're here with us today. So many parents looking forward to some of the answers that you're going to give to our questions. So I'm going to talk about ABA therapy in just a moment, but I want to begin with some of the challenges that parents face if their child has autism.
Well, autism spectrum disorder is really a neurodevelopmental condition. Author Debbie Reber calls it differently wired. It is not necessarily itself a disability, but it can cause autism-related disabilities in communication, social interaction, and behavior. And I think the key, and Kayla actually can speak to this better than I can as a parent, the key is to, if you see any behaviors of concern in your child or parents have concern, the key is to talk to your pediatrician and to try to get your child into a diagnostic situation as quickly as possible. There are amazing therapies based on the principles of applied behavior analysis that can really put a child on an amazing developmental path.
I think what Dr. Marin is saying about what we found in the survey is so true. The delay a lot of times is because parents don't know where to go or what to do, and I think it's so important for parents to know to just bring your concerns up to your pediatrician as soon as possible and start the diagnosis process.
So other than that, what would you tell parents if they suspect that their child has autism? What did you experience in the beginning that may be able to help them?
I think we all just need to know that it's okay. It's okay if you have a child with autism. It's okay if you have a child that's a little different, not to stress out about it or not to worry about it too much, and just talk to your child's pediatrician and really tell them you want to get the testing done, and hopefully they can connect you with someone who can help you get the testing done or connect you with Centria for autism.
So how has ABA therapy helped your children?
ABA has been such a valuable part of my children's development. We started when my son was 19 months old, and just started by trying to teach him his name and how to look at someone when you call his name. That's so vital, especially for his safety. When my husband and I would take him out in public, he needs to know how to respond to his name or know what his name is. So, we started with something just as simple as that, and now Jacob is 6 and he's in kindergarten, and they were working on things in his therapy like how to interact with his peers and how to sit at school and do a task.
So that's something that you would recommend because you've seen pretty big changes in your son because of the therapy?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think people really should get a hold of Centria. You can go to centriaautism.com and really get the information that you need.
Well, Dr. and Kayla, thanks so much for joining us this morning. I'm sure a lot of parents are going to be looking up that website. Anything else you'd like to add in the next 20 seconds or so?
I think the key is for parents to be brave and understand their child will in fact do really well.
All right, thank you so much for being with us this morning. You're watching The Morning Blend.
Owner of Zero Res, Scott Archon, is back with us, and we're talking about the importance of not leaving residue. How important is that?
Not leaving residue with carpet cleaning? Oh my gosh, it is the most important thing you can have. Zero Res exists because this industry has had a massive problem with chemical residue left after cleanings. I'll ask both of you, have you ever had your carpets cleaned and it was crunchy afterwards?
Yes.
Okay, have spots come back?
Yes.
Yep.
Does it get dirtier faster?
Yes.
Okay, so 100% of the problems that exist, zero residue is our mission statement, okay? When you eliminate the chemicals and you eliminate that chemical residue, then you get carpets that are soft and they're clean and they don't have that chemical smell. And Zero Res is the only company in the entire nation that can claim zero residue because we don't use the detergents. We use powered water. And if you hire us, you'll find out all about it and what it is.
That's right. We want to be comfortable in our homes and not have that chemical smell.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give them that special. It's an amazing deal, guys, for today only. 520-441-2441 will get you the Wednesday deal of the day. 3 rooms for $99. Remember, deal for today only. Call 520-441-2441 or visit ZeroResTucson.com. Why don't we get some buzz on this Wednesday? That's the new Buzz song. Cover your ears.
Okay, so let's start off with like the big Hollywood news that has just happened. This has been going on for a while, but now it is finalized. Brad and Brangelina are officially divorced.
It's kind of sad, actually, because you remember them from Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They were probably in other movies together that I can't remember. I like our graphic there, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. No more. And it's true. They actually filed, like you said, in 2016, citing irreconcilable differences. She wants sole custody of the kids, and he wants joint. That's got to be a tough situation.
Oh, it's horrible. I mean, just the kids. It just goes all the way back to the kids' happiness. And this is a stressful situation regardless, but can you imagine doing this in the public spotlight and your parents don't get along?
It's hard
and they're
enough.
Just battling it out.
Yeah, hard
They've
enough
got
as it is.
6 kids.
Absolutely.
Some of them were adopted, so I just feel for the children.
We feel for them, but if you wanted to date one of them, good news. You can go
They're on
try
the
to date one
market.
of them. Go check them out. Billboard Dad is the name of this guy now. We talked about this story probably a couple months ago, or maybe a month ago.
I think you should have given him shoulders. That's
I know.
unfortunate.
His sons, if you remember, bought a billboard for him saying, wish my dad happy birthday with his face and his phone number. And he got 250,000 people contacted him.
It is so cool.
Which is nuts. And he had to get a new phone number because of that. So he put up a billboard in response, thanking everybody.
I love that. Isn't that a great story? You can
see it, where is it? It's near Atlantic City, New Jersey. And, to put something up like this, by the way, it's not a cheap thing to do.
No, I don't know how much.
I think it's like $1,000 a month or something. So, you buy it for 1 month, I guess.
Right.
If you just have the money to spend.
It's so
you just put it into
cool
a
that
billboard.
his kids did that, right?
I know.
His sons really love their
cool,
dad.
or was it a curse for him to get all those calls?
No, it's like, hey, thanks, kids.
I know.
The Desert Museum has been named one of the top zoos. This is of 30 of the best zoos, right?
30 in the
United
U.S.
States.
Big deal.
I love it there. Have you been there before?
I have many times. It's beautiful. They were cited as they got this because of their knowledgeable staff and docents. They say it's an educational must-see. 2 miles of walking trails, 56,000 plants, and complimentary sunscreen in the bathrooms.
Do they really?
Which is probably the best part.
I think that's so cool.
85% of it's outdoors, so you don't want to get a burn.
Right. Well, I like the fact that they consider the natural habitat and how these animals live in the wild. Because they take, they don't just feed them; they actually hide it in different areas.
I love
and they
that.
do a lot more than that. But I just thought that was one of the coolest parts of what they do.
And speaking of a wild animal, look at that guy.
Oh my gosh! This is
Aries.
what happens when it rains in Arizona. This is Aries. His dad sent in a picture of him after he was in the backyard having a little too much fun. They said, "Oh, he wanted to come inside." But what I thought was so funny about this is he's terrified of the washing machine.
I know. So you'll go in the mud, but no washing machine, no dishwasher. He thinks he's a lap dog, which if he's dirty like that, you definitely don't want him on your lap. Almost 6 years old, was given to him as a present. And here's a Facebook Live we did earlier, looking lovely. And this is just a view at our Facebook page that you guys can go like and share. And
we try to have fun.
We try to have a good time. Send us
Yes.
your pet and might make it on the show.
So what are you in the mood for this weekend, Alex Steiniger? We have really cool stuff. You're going to like one of the events going on. It is Weekender Wednesday, so we'll have everything that you need to know to get your tickets or what cool fun you can have with your family.
All good. BRB.
We're getting your weekend started today. Here are some of the great events happening around Southern Arizona.
Weekender
This is one
Wednesday.
of the cool ones coming up.
I know, the big one.
The Pima County Fair is here. It starts tomorrow and it runs through the 28th. And they've got rides, fried food, beer, turkey legs, which
yeah.
you see people
Walking around with
Walking
those,
around
I
with those.
definitely do. Musical acts include Shaggy, Seether, Carly Pierce. We need a little Weekender Wednesday music too. I think that'll kind of kick things up a notch.
Yeah,
you
we
can get
need
your
Shaggy.
tickets. Yeah, I know. You can get your tickets and whatnot online without having to wait in line when you get there. PimaCountyFair.com if you want to get more information for that.
And then, of course, all the Easter egg hunts that you can go to. This one's happening in Oro Valley. This is on Saturday, and it goes till noon, and it's at Naranja Park. They're going to have 4 different Easter egg hunts. This is smart because they're going to split it up into age groups. They're going to have a petting zoo. They're going to have food trucks, games, competitions, and, of course, a special appearance by the Easter Bunny. If you'd like to find out more about that, you can go to orovalleyaz.gov.
And we're going to party for the planet because this is Earth Month, as you may know. It's also taking place on Saturday, 9 a.m. to noon. It's part of 130 zoos and aquariums around the country that are doing this. And there's going to be nature play, anteater conservation conversation, say that 5 times fast, plant raffle, everything green, of course. All of these activities are going to be free with paid admission. And get this, if you ride your bike to the zoo, you can get in for free completely.
See, that's such a good message.
A great idea.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I love that. You
Reed
can't
Park
talk
Zoo.
enough about conservation.
So true,
right?
so true. And we have to get some sports in here.
Arizona softball taking on Stanford tomorrow and Friday. It's 6 o'clock tomorrow and Friday, and then Saturday the game will be at noon. Hillenbrand Memorial Stadium, of course. Very skilled team. We're ranked 7th, so go girls. And they're going to be, so they're going to be playing, and you can get tickets at ArizonaWildcats.com to root them on.
And they're probably happy to be home because they've been on the road for 2 weeks. And so it's good to be back in their own country. And of course, coming up this weekend too, this Friday, I should say, Desert Diamond Casino's Monsoon Nightclub. We've been talking about this for a few weeks. You love Bruno Mars.
Oh my gosh, wouldn't it be the best to go to that?
So he won't be there.
Trumpets and trombones and just the
It'll be
live
a tribute to him. So 9 p.m. this Friday. If you want to get tickets for that, go dance the night away at the Monsoon Nightclub. ddcaz.com if you want to get more information for that.
Right. And you can also go to our Facebook page because we'll replay this on our Facebook page, so you don't have to be scrambling running to the kitchen right now, tripping over your furniture.
Good plug for
I've
the
done that. I've broken my toe that way.
Oh no. Glad your toe is better. And of course, we have all these great events, but
our best event happening is Jim Ferguson.
Jim Ferguson is always the best
It's true.
event.
We love having you. This is great.
Whoever said there's nothing to do in Tucson was wrong.
That's so true.
Listening to you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. So we're talking about this great new film that's coming out, Teen Spirit.
Teen Spirit, yes. I got to tell you a story. I've interviewed Elle Fanning when she was 4. And, you know, her sister, Dakota, was supposed to be the big
star.
Elle has just even passed her, you know. I never knew she could sing. In fact, the critics thought she was dubbing her voice.
Really?
But it was her. She was
Really?
doing, and as she says in the interview, which we have right now. But, you know, we know the plot for Rocky.
Right.
This is Rocky, only teenagers singing competition.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's a rising star.
That's
The Rising
intriguing.
Star, which I'll tell you more
Type
about
of
on Friday.
story.
But let's go to my Elle Fanning interview.
Okay.
Check it out.
Elle, you know, we've known each other for so long, and you've developed into just a wonderful actress. Thank you. Know you could act. You've done a little singing, but wow, a lot going on for an actress in this movie, Teen Spirit.
Yes.
Not only the singing, which was amazing, but you had to learn a little bit of Polish too, didn't you?
I did. That was one of the most challenging aspects, I think, also of the movie. Agnieszka, who's the actress who plays my mother in the film, who's so incredible, she is from Poland. And so she was able, you know, thankfully she was on set to be able to tell me if it was wrong and sounded wrong. So she let me know. But yes, it was really interesting to learn.
Sure. About the drama.
Yes.
I was so impressed with the fact that there's a lot going on in this story that this character, it's of course it's a musical drama, but your character is escaping a small town that she's very depressed in and her family situation. Would you agree with that?
I would. I think that this is, it's like a fairy tale in a way.
Cinderella?
Of someone. Yeah, exactly. Of wanting to get out and they feel, you know, trapped in this world, and it's a storyline that we are familiar with, but it's set and in a different time, and it kind of puts a twist on that. But I think that there's something so beautiful about that story of showing someone with that hunger and that drive, you know?
Yes, and also the loyalty to her mentor.
Yes.
He was wonderful.
He is. And you know, his name is Latko, and the part was written for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Max saw him in films, and he's a Croatian actor. He does a lot of theater there, and he's just absolutely perfect and such a kind heart. And it's so, I love that relationship. He's like the fairy godmother.
Lovely. And you were the only one that asked her about the Polish.
Yeah, she told me later. She said, "You're the only one that asked me about learning how to speak Polish," which was hard to do.
That's why you're the expert. You pull out these things that nobody else thinks about. It's so true.
Thank you so much.
Who else did you talk to?
Well, I talked to a well-known actor, Jamie Bell, who I interviewed 19 years ago for Billy Elliot. But he's done Fantastic Four, Turn. Jamie's been in a lot of movies. And then the director and writer, Max Migelia, who did a wonderful job, I thought, directing this, and especially the concert scenes were fantastic, you know. So I have both of them together, the producer and writer-director.
Okay, let's take a look.
I sat down with Jamie 19 years ago in London, England. You don't remember?
I know, I always remember your face every time you come into one of these things.
Thank you for Jamie, for Billy Elliot. And of course, would you agree, Jamie, that Teen Spirit is like Billy Elliot, somewhat of a Cinderella story?
100%. I mean, I think we came up with the script with that in mind to a degree, but I don't think Teen Spirit is as much of an underdog story as that is. I think Billy Elliot character has a lot to learn. You know, he's never danced before in his life. A lot of that movie is him training to become what he eventually will do. There's something interesting about this idea that there is this girl who's isolated on this island, literally away from, separated by water to her dream, who's actually very good at something. You know, doesn't need the training necessarily. It's just
she is
sitting
a
there.
talent.
She's ripe. Yeah, she's ready to go. And I kind of find that weirdly more interesting. Is what do you do when you have this gift?
Max, as writer-director, you have to be really pleased with this whole cast. I thought the casting was so good. Mother, mentor, everybody.
So lucky. I actually think about that all the time. We wrote the part of Vlad for Zlatko Buric, who plays the part, and he's extraordinary in the movie. And that I can't believe that he's in it. Every time I watch the movie, it's sort of amazing to me that we actually got him to do it. But I can't take any credit for that. We were really lucky. We just found the right person for each part. Those people wanted to be in the movie. They were available to be in the movie. And I had so little to do with those performances. They were just the right actors.
Well, it's so compelling to listen to both of them, but especially to Elle. So when you see her character just in the trailer right there, is it compelling? I mean, do you live vicariously through her while you're watching it?
You really do, because she's from a little island off the coast of London, of England, and nobody, you know, it's a depressed area economically, and she's escaping. Her father left the family, and their mother is having problems. Yeah, they really do develop her character, and that's a good question, Heather. Thank you. Talk about asking good questions.
I know. So great question.
Thank
so
you.
We'll get your review on Friday. Not a bad way to spend maybe an evening this weekend, right? To go watch this film.
Oh, and it's inspiring. It's inspiring as well, like Rocky. You know.
Very good. As always, Jim, pleasure having you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you,
Nice to
Alex.
see
Thank you, Heather.
All right, guys, still to come, details about a free concert by the Tucson Symphony Orchestra. It's a chance that you don't want to miss, so stay tuned. Welcome back. How would you like a taste of drama with that beer? Well, if it piques your interest, the Tucson Fringe Festival has a pub crawl for that, and here to tell us how it works, Festival Executive Director Marianne Green and actor Duto Adamson. Thanks to both of you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. So we have to start with the first question. Do you have to be a beer drinker to enjoy this event?
No, you can enjoy any other beverages, including water or juice. As long as you like coming out and having a good time and seeing some theater.
Right, the idea is the art behind it,
Exactly.
right? Go and enjoy it. If you enjoy a good beer with that, have it. But what was the idea behind starting this?
We aren't the first. It started in New York with their Drunk Shakespeare, and we took that idea and brought it to Tucson. We thought it was a great way to highlight some of our locally owned venues, so bringing a theater audience to them and bringing theater to the bar crowd.
Well, and there's a lot of places that people may never have been, right? In town, to your point, there's a lot of, it's hopping.
Yeah,
in
one
this
of our
town.
new venues this year is the Box Yard. They
Yeah.
just opened. It's
I
this
love that
gorgeous
place.
outdoor venue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then some we keep coming back to, like Cafe Passe, and Sky Bar has been a sponsor of our events before too. So
Excellent.
it's a great way to support some of our sponsors.
So give us an idea of how the evening is going to unfold. Maybe Duto.
Well, you basically sign up online and you come with a little group, and the group will basically take you to the different bars around 10 to 15 minutes at each bar, where you have enough time to order a drink, maybe two, and watch a nice little scene unfold. Very casual, very fun, very friendly, and then you move all together to the next one.
And as an actor, how does this experience, how is it different for you? Is it better? Is it harder, easier?
It's a mix of all of those things. It's maybe a little harder just in the terms that it's not so set, because you have the bar crowd. It's a little bit more rowdy. It's a little bit more, freeing, I would say. There's not so much as like a wait for this light to go and this cue to go. You just kind of have to feel it out and go with it and try and keep everyone engaged.
A bit more of an improv to it, right?
Yeah, and there's a little bit of audience interaction too. We
great.
interact with the space and whoever happens to be there.
Sort of a more accessible way, I imagine, to get into Shakespeare, right?
Absolutely.
Do you have to be a Shakespeare aficionado to go to this?
No, we like to call this Shakespeare's greatest hits.
Okay.
So we take some of the best comedy and drama scenes, and it's just kind of like the highlights in an afternoon.
Excellent. How long's the show, by the way?
The whole event runs about 2 hours, and we hit 3 different venues. The full walking tour is under a mile, so.
Okay,
yeah.
Excellent. And so how does this fit into the Tucson Fringe Festival in the concept of it?
So the mission of Fringe is to bring theater to make it more accessible, and so by bringing theater into these spaces that aren't normally theater spaces, we're bringing it to a different audience. And then the other half of our mission is to support downtown businesses, and so we're bringing a theater audience into businesses that they may not normally patronize.
Absolutely, yeah. It really is a good way to bring awareness to these places. People have to go check it out. Of course, acting is a big part of it. Duto, what do you personally get out of doing this?
A lot of new experiences, a lot of really cool, you learn new monologues, you learn kind of new scenes, and you get to create this repertoire with both the audience and with the other actors. So suddenly, you're a little bit more well known around town, and people want to come out and see you and support you and kind of gain this little bit of a feeling of community.
Yeah, community is definitely the word. If someone wants to get involved, can they do this in years that are coming? Is there an audition process?
Yeah, every spring I send out a notice and we get actors. At first it was me like begging my friends to do it, and now 5 years in, we have auditions and people send their headshot and resume, and we've got a huge cast this year.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it sounds like an amazing event. I'm going to give them the details. I like your shirt, by the way. People need to get some of those shirts. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. The 5th annual Beer with the Bards happening on April 28th, and if you want more information on the pub crawl, you can head to TucsonFringe.com. Okay, how often do you get to watch an orchestra for free? Well, Heather is standing by with a chance to do just that. Hey, Heather.
Hi, Alex. That is exactly right. I am joined now with Catherine Martin, who's the interim president and CEO of the Tucson Symphony Orchestra. I'm so glad that you're here today. First time that you've been on TV with us. I love talking about the symphony. I think it's such a moving, emotion-provoking event that you can go to. Do you feel the same way?
Oh, I love being in the audience of a symphony orchestra, especially one like the Tucson Symphony that plays at such a high caliber.
Yes.
And there's just nothing like being in the audience, surrounded with friends and neighbors, and having that sound just wash over you and through you. I mean, you can feel it in your body.
Yes.
And, just talking about it, I get goosebumps. And that's what happens when magic happens in the concert hall.
I think that is the absolute best way to describe it. I've never heard it described so well. For people who haven't come, now they know what it's like to go to the orchestra and see.
You don't know, you don't have to know anything about classical music to get those goosebumps, right? To get that feeling.
It's so true. I mean, that's how we're moved in movies, right? It's usually with, obviously the actors and actresses, but so much of it is about the music. So let's get the details on the free concert. Come as you are, no ticket required.
Love that, yes. So it's an exciting time at the Tucson Symphony. We're celebrating our 90th birthday.
Oh, wow.
And that's a big deal for a nonprofit organization. And so 90th year of educating, engaging, inspiring, transforming our community through music. And we've got big plans for the future. And so we're really grateful to the community who has supported us all this time as a nonprofit. So on Thursday night at 7:30, we're going to have some fun. You can come as you are, no ticket required. Sit anywhere you want in the music hall. Come dressed up, wear your shorts. The most important thing is to come and experience that sound that we were just talking about.
Absolutely. So what's some of the music going to be like?
So our music director, Jose Luis Gomez, has programmed pieces with melodies that you will know, you'll recognize, you'll be humming along, classics where the orchestra is really going to shine. We have a new piece by one of our young composers, Rory Bricka, called Landfall. And for the first time ever in our history, we will be partnering with the Tucson Girls Chorus. So it'll be a real community celebration.
I love this, and here's a picture of them right here. I mean, just it's so magical, you know, and I think for kids of all ages need to experience this, because who knows, they might want to try to sing, or they may have been a little bit intimidated, but when they see other kids or, you know, girls of that age trying it, they'll want to do it. It'll be okay, not as scary.
If we see somebody like ourselves up on stage, we think, oh, maybe we could do that.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
So let's talk about some of the highlights that are coming up in the future.
Yes, in the future. So next season has been announced. We've got a great year planned, and it's really exciting in the office right now because the phones are ringing because people are subscribing. So people are already thinking about planning their plans for next year. So let me just tell you some of the highlights.
Okay.
So of course, the audiences are going to hear the full orchestra in the classics, and we have some wonderful surprises. Monkees fans, Monkees, if you like Mickey Dolenz, you're going to want to see him with the full orchestra. Thanksgiving weekend, you can come see E.T., the film, with live orchestra. The Tucson Symphony is going to be performing live. The Texas Tenors, we're going to be doing their holiday show, Deep in the Heart of Texas, a tribute to Aretha Franklin, virtuoso violinist and fiddle player, Tessa Lark, and just on and
on. Catherine, it's so great to have you here today. So many great things coming up, and I'm going to sign up for at least 5 of them.
Good, well, we will welcome you.
And again, you can catch Tucson Symphony Orchestra's free concert tomorrow at 7:30 at Tucson Music Hall. For more information on everything that you were just hearing, you can check out TucsonSymphony.org.